Summer 2025 is stacked with some of the wildest action fantasy anime we've seen in years. From monster-slaying epics to mind-bending isekai twists, these shows aren't just hype, they're dominating Crunchyroll charts and fan discussions worldwide. Today, we're counting down the top 10 action fantasy anime of summer 2025, and trust me, you'll want to binge every single one of them. Stick around, because number 1 might just blow your mind. And hey, imagine being able to actually talk to your favorite anime characters from this list? Well, that's a real thing now. More on that later. At number 10, Apocalypse Bringer, Minagra. This isekai takes empire building to the extreme. Takuto Ira is a legendary player of a fantasy strategy game when he suddenly wakes up inside the game world of Itaragia. Even better for him, his favorite in-game unit, Sludge Atu, a monster he loves, appears by his side. Instead of becoming a typical hero, Takuto decides to form the ultimate villainous empire, bringing the evil empire of his dreams to life. Expect grand-scale magic battles, political intrigue, and the dark humor of a protagonist who's treating the world like a game board. At number 9, scooped up by an S-rank adventurer. In this springboarding isekai series, Lloyd is a lowly white mage dumped by his original hero party. Now lost and aimless, he crosses paths with an S-rank adventurer team that needs a mage. Lloyd joins them, and when his old party collapses, he unexpectedly rises to fame among the adventurers. The series is lighthearted yet action-packed. Lloyd's support magic proves devastatingly powerful in fights. Think classic friendship and magic adventures as an underdog proves he's anything but ordinary. At number 8, reborn as a vending machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon, Season 2. Yes, you read that right. In this quirky isekai comedy, a dying man named Boxo is reincarnated as a sentient vending machine in a monster-filled dungeon. He can see and hear, but is immobile, and only speaks by dispensing drinks and snacks. Season 2 finds Boxo and a team of adventurers learning to use his vending powers in clever ways. Beneath the humor, it's a surprisingly engaging fantasy. Boxo's unique perspective makes for creative battle strategies as he still tries to protect his human friends. At number 7, New Saga. New Saga kicks off with a grueling war against the Demon King. Kyle, the hero swordsman, defeats the Demon Lord but is mortally wounded. Miraculously, a mysterious red crystal flings him 4 years into the past, back to before the war. Armed with knowledge of the future, Kyle now has a chance to rewrite fate. He vows to save his friends and prevent the coming catastrophe. This time-looped fantasy delivers plenty of sword fights and tension as Kyle races against time to change the future. At number 6, The Water Magician. Classic isekai fans should dive into The Water Magician. Reincarnated into a monster-infested wilderness, our protagonist Rio wakes with the magical power of water and the gift of eternal youth. He spends 20 brutal years surviving deadly trials, becoming one of the most formidable mages ever seen. His quiet life changes when he meets Abel, a prodigy knight, which thrusts Rio into the spotlight of the kingdom's magic society. The series promises grand magic duels, clever world building, and a hero who's literally been around for decades. On Moescape AI, you can even talk to Rio. Just imagine quizzing him about those 2 decades of adventure. At number 5, Lord of Mysteries. This Chinese donghua anime burst onto Crunchyroll in summer 2025 to critical praise as a hidden gem of the season. Set in a steampunk divided by Victorian world full of occult horrors, it follows Zhou Mingrui, who awakens in the body of a deceased nobleman, Klein Moretti. He finds himself caught between occult churches and monstrous beyonder powers, walking a razor's edge between light and darkness. With its rich mystique and slow-burn mystery, Lord of Mysteries is a must-watch dark fantasy for fans of supernatural intrigue and Victorian-era adventure. At number 4, Kaiju number 8, Season 2. The hugely popular Kaiju action series is back. In Season 2, Kafka Hibino continues to struggle between his human life and his kaiju form. As his mentor Isao Shinomiya predicted, Kafka narrowly avoids being turned into a human weapon and meets 1st Division Captain Gen Narumi. Embracing his Kaiju number 8 powers, Kafka forces the defense force to acknowledge his strength, all while the monstrous Kaiju number 9 emerges as an even greater threat. Expect epic city-smashing battles, military sci-fi flair, and suspense as humanity's fate hangs in the balance. At number 3, Dan Da Dan Season 2. The offbeat occult comedy action Dan Da Dan returns for a 2nd season. The story still centers on high schooler Momo, born to a family of spirit mediums, and her classmate Okarun, a self-professed ghost and alien enthusiast. In Season 2, they face even more bizarre phenomena. Momo awakens her hidden powers, and Okarun gains a deadly curse ability while battling vengeful spirits and aliens. In short, this show is a supernatural roller coaster. Expect fast-paced ghost hunting action and lots of eerie surprises. At number 2, Clevites. Dubbed the perfect spiritual successor to Berserk, Clevites plunges straight into brutal fantasy action. It begins when Alicia's party tries to slay a legendary dark beast, only to unleash the beast itself. Clevites, one of 4 titanic monsters. The anime wastes no time dialing the gore and brutality to 11, and then digs deeper. We follow the monster Clevites as it assumes a human form to raise the orphaned survivor of the battle. In doing so, the series explores what it means to be human through its title Beast. Fans of bone-crunching sword fights, blood-soaked drama, and slow-burning philosophy won't want to miss it. And now, finally, number 1. Gachiakuta, a gritty new original by Bones. Gachiakuta follows Rudo, a scrappy teen framed for murder and exiled into the pit at the edge of a floating city. There he joins a band of misfit fighters called the Cleaners to claw his way back and take revenge. This graffiti-inspired, Mad Max-esque saga is pure action. Think punk rock style, trash kaiju monsters, and heart-pounding fights. Imagine asking Rudo about his next move. On Moescape AI, you can actually chat with him and all characters from these shows, as if they were right beside you. And there you have it, the top 10 action fantasy anime making waves this summer. Which one have you watched? Drop your favorite down below, and let's see which anime takes the crown in the comments. Oh, and if you've ever wanted to step right into these worlds, you actually can. On Moescape AI, you can chat with characters from these shows like they're alive. It's the closest thing to living inside an anime, so go try it out. Until next time, keep your swords sharp, your magic strong, and your watch list stacked. See you in the next video.